Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtuprayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 7, further inquiries by Vidura. And I'm guessing it's text number 29. Text number 29. Varnashram vibhagansha rupa shila swabhavata rishinam jarm karmani vedasya cha vikarshanam. So Vidurji is further asking Maitreya Muni that, O great sage, kindly describe the divisions and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and characteristics of mental equilibrium and sense control. Also, please describe the births of the great sages and categorical divisions of the Vedas. The four statuses and orders of human society, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, as well as Brahmacharis, Grihasthas, Vanprasthas, and Sannyasis, are all divisions of quality, education, culture, and spiritual advancement, attained by practicing control of the mind and the senses. All these divisions are based on the particular nature of each individual person, not on the principle of birth. Birth is not mentioned in this verse because birth is immaterial. So Prabhupada, how clearly he explains about the caste system that is prevalent in India. It's based on birth, but Varnashram system was not meant to be based on birth. Birth is immaterial, Prabhupada is saying. Vidura is famous in history as born of a Shudrani mother, yet he is more than a Brahman by qualification because he is seen here to be the disciple of a great sage, Maitreya Muni. Unless one achieves at least the Brahminical qualifications, one cannot understand the Vedic hymns. Mahabharata is also a division of the Vedas, but it is meant for women, Shudras, and Dvijbandhus, the worthless children of the higher section. The less intelligent society can avail themselves of the Vedic instruction simply by studying the Mahabharata. So, birth is immaterial, but at the same time, in earlier ages, Satyuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapar Yuga, now this discussion is happening towards the end of Dwapar Yuga. But rest of the ages, 3 ages, Kali Yuga is all topsy-turvy. The rest of the 3 ages, actually the father, the mother, their marriage used to happen by in the right at the right time, at the right moment, and the gotras were considered whether they should get married or not. So there was lots of considerations. The reason being, and husband wife, they both used to follow the scriptures, the dharma properly. So the soul that used to be born from them, suppose it was like a king and queen, so chances are, very, very high chances are that they will get a Kshatriya son. If it's a daughter, it's a different story because girls' Varnashram is whatever her husband's Varnashram is. So that is set aside. But if if a king and his queen, chances are, very, very high chances in those days, was the boy would be a Kshatriya. Because they were pure, the king and queen, father and mother were pure, and that kind of soul will take shelter in the womb of that mother. Similarly, the Brahman, like their son, would generally be, chances are, very, very high chances that he would be a Brahman. But it's only in Kali Yuga when everything has gone topsy turvy. Who you never know who's going to be born where. Nobody's following any rules and regulations, any of the sanskaras, and mating at the wrong time. So nothing is predictable in Kali Yuga, and that's why it has become a joke actually. This caste system. But earlier days, the people used to follow it properly, guna and karma, obviously, but the chances were that the son of a king would be a kshatriya. Whether he becomes a king or not, that's a different story. But he would be a kshatriya. And also, what used to happen, all the boys they were sent to Gurukul. Whether it's the son of a Brahmin or son of a king, they were sent to Gurukul. And the teacher there, no, the teacher would be a Pakka Brahman, and when he would teach them, and then he would decide based on their qualities because he would watch everybody very closely, him and his assistants, and then he would decide whether this particular boy will be a Kshatriya or a Brahman or a Vaishya or a Shudra, based on the qualities of that person. So the system, the setup was very pure, very nice. And then the Guruji would decide, and then the boys would be trained accordingly. If he's a Kshatriya, he will be given different training, then he's a Brahman, then he's Vaishya, then he's a Shudra. So the system was very proper, but what to say about Kali Yuga? And that is why in 11th canto, when this Nav Yogendra, they come to the kingdom of Maharaj Ugrasen, and they're giving the instructions, and in that instructions they said, Kalera Dosh Nide Rajan. This Kali Yuga is a place for all the faults, is a time for all the faults. Kalera Dosh Nide Rajan. Dosh Nide Rajan. It's a Khan, the Dosh, and the place of all the faults. Hasti Eko Mahan Guna. It has only one very great quality, not just quality, Mahan Guna. Very great, greatest quality. And what is that greatest quality? Kirtana Dev Krishna Mukta Sangha Param Rachet. Kirtana Deva Krishna Sangha. Krishna means just do Hari Nam Kirtan, just do Krishna Nam Kirtan. And what will happen? Mukta Sangha Param Rachet. You will go to the topmost destination. That is the only, and it's a very good quality of Kali Yuga. Very, very good quality. In fact, it's also mentioned in Bhagavatam that people, the denizens of heavenly planets, in this Kali Yuga, they want to take birth in the land of Bharatvarsha. Because they know Bharatvarsha is a place which is very conducive for Harinam Kirtan. It sure is. I mean, trust me, I've lived in both the places, and I'm still living outside India, and I've lived in India. So India is very, very conducive place for bhajan. By Prabhupada's mercy, all over the world has become conducive for bhajan. But rest of the world, we have little pockets where ISKCON temples are, and wherever bhakti vrikshas are going on, or wherever some devotee association is there. But in general, the atmosphere is not very conducive for bhajan. But in India, it's very, very conducive. You go somewhere, I mean, you can put on dhoti kurta and just walk in the street, and everybody will tell you Hare Krishna, and we can do Harinam there. Nobody's gonna stop. And go to any temple, or there's so many temples wherever you go, and It just reminds you of Krishna. This is the advantage of India. So we have to take full advantage of being born in Bharatvarsha and being in Bharatvarsha. So you all are very, very fortunate. Text 30. Yagyasya cha vitanani yogasya cha patha prabho nashkarmyasya cha sankhyasya tantram va bhagavat smritam. Please also describe the expansions of different sacrifices and the paths of mystic powers, analytical study of knowledge and devotional service, all with their respective regulations. The word tantram is significant here. Sometimes tantram is misunderstood to be the black spiritual science of materialistic persons engaged in sense gratification. But here tantra means the science of devotional service compiled by Sri Narad Muni. So Narad Muni wrote this Narad Bhakti Sutra. So that's kind of tantra, which explains devotional service. One can take advantage of such regulative explanations of the path of devotional service and make progressive advancement in the devotional service of the Lord. Sankhya philosophy is the basic principle of acquiring knowledge, as will be explained by the sage Maitreya. The Sankhya philosophy, enunciated by Kapil Dev, the son of Devahuti, is a real source of knowledge about the supreme truth. Knowledge not based on the Sankhya philosophy is mental speculation and can yield no tangible profit. So the real Sankhya philosophy that Lord Kapil Dev gave, and Prabhupada many times explained, there's an atheistic Kapil Dev also, and he gave a wrong Sankhya philosophy. But the real Sankhya philosophy is given by Lord Kapil Dev. And see, this is also another mercy of the Lord Kapil Dev. And now it is said, just by chanting the name of the Lord, one gets immense benefits, whether we are chanting with pleasure, with concentration, or in a joking way, or in an indirect way, whichever way, it will give benefit. It's just like an example is given if there's a wire and it has electricity running through it, and if somebody touches it, whether somebody touches it knowingly, whether somebody touches it unknowingly, whether somebody is playing with it and touches it, somebody touches it ignorantly, it will still shock you. So similarly, the holy name. When we chant with full concentration and devotion and dedication, it will give much more results. So why I'm saying the Kapil Dev, Lord Kapil Dev, now there was a cricketer named Kapil Dev. And he played for a long time for India, and so many commentators, so many people all over the world, so many of his friends and opponents and his team members and the opposite team members, they have taken his name. So they all will get benefited just by taking the name of cricketer Kapil Dev. But originally it's the name of Lord Kapil Dev. So that's why people used to name their kids after the Lord. So just by taking that name, unknowingly also one gets benefited. So that story will come, Ajamil story in the sixth canto, beginning of sixth canto. But I think I had covered this verse. I'm trying to get to the. Does anybody know where is it?
32 was to be started, Prabhuji. 31 we completed last time. 32 to be started.
Okay, so 32 we have to start. Okay, text 32. Dharmartha kama mokshanam nimittani avirodita vartaya danda nitescha shutasya cha vidhim prathak. You may also describe the non-contradictory causes of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and salvation, and also the different means of livelihood and different processes of law and order, as mentioned in the revealed scriptures. So non-contradictory causes of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and salvation. Different people actually describe them differently, but he is asking matrimony to describe them properly with the right understanding. Text 33. Shraddhasya cha vidhim brahman pitrinam sargameva cha griha nakshatra taranam kala vyavasansitim. Please also explain the regulations for offering respects to the forefathers, the creation of the Pitriloka, the time schedule in the planets, stars, and luminaries, and their respective situations. So just imagine how matrimony is going to describe the whole universe and how much knowledge he must be having. The time durations of day and night, as well as months and years, are different in the different planets, stars, and luminaries. The higher planets, like the Moon and the Venus, have time measurements different from those of the Earth. It is said that 6 months of this planet Earth equal 1 day. 1 day means 12 hours, not 24 hours. 12 hours of the higher planets. In Bhagavad Gita, the duration of 1 day in Brahmaloka is measured to be 1,000 times the 4 yugas, or 4,30,000 years multiplied by 1,000. It cannot be 4,30,000 because Kali Yuga lasts for 4,32,000. So it should be 40 lakh or 43 lakh years. The 10 is missing. And the month and year in Brahmaloka are calculated in that measure. So Vidurji is asking, please describe in detail the time calculations also. And this is actually where Einstein got his idea of theory of relativity. He said, as soon as we go up, the calculation of time changes. So I don't know exactly what his formulas were, but he got this idea from our scriptures. Text 34. Danasya tapso vapi yacheshta purtayo phalam pravasasthasya yo dharma yascha punso tapadi. Please also describe the fruitive results of charity and penance and of digging reservoirs of water. Please describe the situation of persons who are away from home and also the duty of a man in an awkward position. The digging of reservoirs of water for public use is a great work of charity, and retiring from family life after 50 years of age is a great act of penance performed by the sober human being. So that is one prastha, but hardly anybody follows that these days. But charity has to be done. Here it's digging of reservoirs of water. But different kinds of charity one can do, and we have studied that in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17. Text 35. Yenva bhagwan stushe dharma yoner janardana samprasidati vayesham etadakyahi me nagha. O sinless one, because the personality of Godhead, the controller of all living entities, is the father of all religion and all those who are candidates for religious activities, kindly describe how he can be completely satisfied. Father of all religion and all those who are candidates for religious activities. All religious activities are meant ultimately to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is what Bhagavad Gita also talks about. The Lord is the father of all religious principles. So ultimately, it is to satisfy Krishna. And that's why he says towards the end in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam raja. Just give up all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Because that is the topmost activity. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 7:16, 4 kinds of pious men, the needy, the distressed, the enlightened, and the inquisitive, approach the Lord in devotional service. and their devotion is mixed with material affection. But above them are the pure devotees, whose devotion is not tainted by any material tinges of fruitive work or speculative knowledge. Those who are only miscreants throughout their lives are compared to demons in 7:15 of Bhagavad Gita. They are bereft of all knowledge in spite of any academic educational career they may pursue. Such miscreants are never candidates for satisfying the Lord. So topmost religious duty is to satisfy the Lord. And Vidurji is asking how to do that, how to carry out those duties. And those who don't satisfy, those who don't surrender to the Lord, Bhagavad Gita 7:15, what does it say? They are lowest of the mankind, Aradhama. Even though they might have big material degrees, PhD or this or that, but not according to Krishna. Text 36. Anuvritanam Shishyanam Putranam Chadvijottama Anaparishtami Bruyur Guruvo Dinavatsalaha. O best among the Brahmins, those who are spiritual masters are very kind to the needy. They're always kind to their followers, disciples, and sons. And without being asked by them, the spiritual master describes all that is knowledge. The many subjects to be known from the bona fide spiritual master, the followers, disciples, and sons, are all on one level for the bona fide spiritual master, and he's always kind to them and always speaks to them on transcendental subjects, even though he is not asked by them. That is the nature of the bona fide spiritual master. Vidura appealed to Maitreya Muni to speak on subjects about which he might not have asked. Although Vidurji is an associate of the Lord, he has directly served the Lord, and Maitreya Muni got this knowledge because Krishna was speaking to Uddhavji. Krishna wasn't even speaking directly to Maitreya Muni. Just imagine position of Vidura and position of Maitreya Muni, and still Vidurji is taking a very humble position in front of Maitreya Muni and asking all these questions. And he's saying, please speak on the topics which I didn't even ask. He covered so many topics in all these questions. But he's thinking there might be some questions I didn't ask, and Maitreya Muni knows so much, so let him tell him. That is the right way, actually, to approach a bona fide spiritual master and ask and put forth our inquiry. Tattvanam bhagvanstesham katita prati sankramaha tatremam ka upasina ka o svid anusherate. Please describe how many dissolutions there are for the elements of material nature, and who survives after the dissolutions to serve the Lord while he's asleep. Never thought of this question. So who serves the Lord when he is asleep and the whole universe is gone? All the universes are gone. In Brahma Samhita, it is said that all the material manifestations with innumerable universes appear and disappear with the breathing of Mahavishnu lying in Yog Nidra or mystic sleep. Govinda, the ultimate and supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, lies sleeping unlimitedly on the causal ocean in order to create unlimited number of universes during that sleep. He lies on the water by his own internal potency, and I worship that original supreme Godhead. Due to his breathing, innumerable universes come into existence, and when he withdraws his breath, there occurs a dissolution of all the lords of the universes. That plenary portion of the Supreme Lord is called Mahavishnu, and he is a part of the part of Lord Krishna. I worship Govinda, the regional Lord. After the dissolution of the material manifestations, the Lord and his kingdom beyond the causal ocean do not disappear, nor do the inhabitants, the Lord's associates. Associates of the Lord are far more numerous than the living entities who have forgotten the Lord due to material association. So the associates or the living entities in the spiritual world are far, far greater in number than the living entities in the material world. The impersonalist explanation of the word aham in the 4 verses of the original Bhagavatam, aham evasam evagre, etc., is refuted here. The Lord and his eternal associates remain after the dissolution. Vidura's inquiry about such persons is a clear indication of the existence of all the paraphernalia of the Lord. This is also confirmed in the Kashi Khanda as quoted by both Jiva Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who follow in the footsteps of Srila Sridhar Swami. The devotees of the Lord never annihilate their individual existences, even after the dissolution of the entire cosmic manifestation. The Lord and the devotees who associate with him are always eternal in both the material and spiritual worlds. So even after dissolution, the devotees are always there to serve the Lord, to take care of the Lord, to be with the Lord. So the inhabitants of the spiritual world are always there, as Prabhupada explained. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. So I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you.